Hey peeps, if there is anyone actually watching this, yeah, hi guys. I don't know if I can see any of your comments or anything, so as stated in the description, this is my first live stream, so it's it is 2:30 in the morning and I am bored, so therefore let's just mod a big shock. Why not? Okay, let's see if you can see where I am. There we are, that's not too bad. I don't think that's criminally bad. Okay, set some more light. You will need at least one screwdriver, possibly some grease, a 10 kilo upgrade spring, which is what I'm putting in. You don't have to put that in, you can just choose whatever spring you want, but there's a pretty hefty spring in there anyway. Also, Teflon tape, always useful for increasing seals, and then you just grease the whole thing up, and that is one of the ends of my multimeter. The little jeweler plier things, they're really useful for getting the springs because a lot of them are either poly welded or one snap fit heads, so you can't really remove the plunger head without damaging it substantially. You'll end up with well, basically a mangled plunger head. And oh, there's no screw in that one, I remember. Yeah, so learning to thread and unthread a spring, it's probably one of the easiest things I learned. There's this guy, I think it was Lionheart Studios or someone, but he used the janky keyring method, and I just thought, if I was going to prime my fire strike, seeing as it's a single shot blaster anyway, if I'm going to be priming my fire strike every single time, that little keyring is going to dig into my finger more than a big plastic thing. And I called him out on it, and he just got aggressive and abusive. So yeah. There's your big shock. And inside is a Mega Big Jolt. Basically, that's it. It's a jolt, but with a bigger plunger tube. So you take your smaller screwdriver, pop it in here, and just like an ordinary jolt or a triad, which I have modded a few. One for my late mother, who relished the joy of shooting me in the back with it. Okay, so really want to keep this under 20 minutes, ideally. Hey ho, see how it goes. So there we go, part one done. Sticky screw syndrome. Right, so there we go. There's our plunger assembly, and that doesn't feels a little dry. Does feel a little dry, I'll give it that. So we've got two choices. We can either cut the spring off, thread it off, which is effectively the same thing, hoping that that will fit inside the plunger head, which I think it will. Yeah, that'll compress, I think. Yeah, in terms of compression, that one's a lot sturdier. So yeah, round to the spring threading while I just open up my tablet and see if anybody is talking to me. There we go. There we go. Hi. Broke nothing. Boosh. American fan word body that rebelled on those crown marker barrels. Makes it ridiculous. Someone fired. American fan rebarreled. Broke nothing. Rebel scum. Yeah. The Empire did nothing wrong. No, actually, they didn't. Nope. No, you're right. The Empire did not do anything wrong. The Empire was actually trying to bring stability to the galaxy, whereas the Rebel Alliance were the actual instigators of the whole thing. I think it's probably going to be easier to take it off this way. And this is where our pliers come in, because we're going to bend it over. Find the end again. I've done this on my Cyclone Shock with a 12 kilo spring, and it was reasonably easy. This one is a little more fiddly. It's slipping a lot. Need to get a real firm grip on it. I can imagine how much fun that 10K spring. Should I just cut it off? Who votes I just cut it off? Yo, Benson. Hey, Nerf Test Battle. Yeah. Should I just hack it off? And then just rethread a new spring on? What do you guys reckon? Okay. See if these tin snips will do it. Evidently not. These are supposed to be aviation grade. Tin snips. Yet they only seem to be able to cut half as strong as I expected. It is really nice for you guys to actually tune into my first ever live stream, because I've never done one before, and I was kind of scared to be honest. You know, the old fear of the unknown stuff. But hey, springs are a fickle beast. I guarantee this thing is going to come off before I explode. You know, perhaps I'm using the wrong thing. Yeah, bigger pliers work. If anybody asks you how you take your martini, say by force. I know I'm faster at threading springs and de-threading springs than this. I seriously, I honestly know. I am. I have done it on fire strikes. I've done it on a cyclone shock. It would help if the plunger head wasn't still covered in grease. That would be lovely. And it would stop my hand from slipping and me scratching through the plunger rod, which is never a good thing. What's everyone saying? Yeah, I ramble far too much. People even pick me up on the fact that I'm constantly rambling. There we go. Come on, spring. I just don't want to break the plunger rod, like removing this damn awful spring. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, this is the grey trigger version, so therefore the underpowered one that the US and Australia, no, the EU and Australia get. Thanks, Hasbro. We know you're based in Germany, but why do you weaken your blasters just for the EU, even though you are part of the EU? Yeah, I know. Never talk about politics and religion. You know, this is the longest time I've ever spent de-threading a spring. It's probably because it's so small. Like, not small, but like, it's quite a tough spring, to be honest. Well, I suppose it's got to be if you're firing mega darts, but it's quite the beast, and it is not happy at all about being extricated from its homeland. And I've yet to even test the seal. Thank you for smashing the like button. Nerf Ted battle. If somebody could give me an extra arm, this would be so much easier. De-threading is so simple. I'm sure I've got a fire strike video where I do it. If not, it's still in the archive and I haven't actually screw. I'm just going to cut the whole thing off. It's going to get wrecked anyway, so come on. I'm not joking, these are Stanley Fatmax aviation snips. And they're having trouble cutting through some cheap Nerf spring. Force, yes. Always helps. So now we have like 3 pieces of spring instead of 2. Yay! We'll just take it off bit by bit then, shall we? Actually, the last spring I did de-thread was for a fire strike, which is strange. Because I replaced it with the strong arm spring and then barreled it. Well, I removed the AR so it can fire Stephens. It's actually quite nasty. The fire strike itself's quite a beast. But when you stick a 5 kilo strong arm spring in there, it's a bit more pokey. I am absolutely confident the next section of the threading on of the new spring will be a lot smoother. Wow, I can't believe this is my first ever live stream and it's just going so badly. When it's something that I've done time and time again, is just because of this stupid floppy thing at the bottom and the way the spring just slides up and down, it's just ridiculous. I just hope the threading is easier than the de-threading. Yeah, the pistol stuff, pistol modding is awesome. Like I definitely recommend the Fire Strike for a pistol mod. It is just one of the best. I even changed my LED out so it's blue instead of red. So it matches the whole paint scheme and everything. Pistol modding is cool, and the Fire Strike can take some serious spring loads, especially if you remove the AR, which is it basically just falls out, and then if you remove the AR, remove the dart post, they all fall out. All you have to do is open the blaster and they fall out. Job done. Oh, come on. This thing just keeps slipping. Trying to get you over to the other side, damn it. Come on. Has anyone else been playing Diablo 3 lately? Season 16 has just started. So, this isn't a paid promotion or anything, I'm just saying I've been playing it on my Switch a bit. So yeah, just create a new seasonal hero. Come on. There we go. That's better. missed. I will get this. Trust me. Let's try and see what people are saying. Yeah, something does always go wrong. Yeah. You gotta add me to your friends list. Oh, you have already, Jason. It doesn't matter. Never mind. I just thought you had a Switch, but then I realised you didn't. So, yeah, but you're on my friends list for Xbox. Come on! Cut through it. Stop bending. Okay, it's official. Live streams just never go to plan, do they? They're never the way you want them to go. Right, now we should have this bugger off. Or not. Well, if this spring is not going to catch and it won't fit inside the plunger, then I'm going to end up with a whole tangled mess of Bigshock. Okay, let's try and hack this one through. If we can get this one through, at least we'll get part of the spring off. And no, don't cut the plastic mat, that would be stupid. Or drop it. Finally. Well, that's some of it. Now we've got about 5 coils left. So I should be able to take off with my hands if they weren't covered in grease from the plunger head. If only you could fast forward reality, you could get through the whole agonising boredom of this section. In we come with the cutters, yet again. Don't cut the plastic, very, very bad. Only cut the metal. And they just skidded. Joy. Okay, back to the de-threading process it is. More de-threading. Oh, a bit just snapped off. Great. Bit from where? I don't know, but a bit. So now I have two ends of coil. Great, they've interlaced themselves. And if I wasn't recording this, I could probably do it in like 5 or 10 minutes. Or if I was recording it, I'd cut all of these bits out that are just boring and pointless. I'm trying not to bend the plunger rod as best I can. And then trying to get the end of the spring over to the other side. There we go. That's one loop. Oh, just check see what two people saying. Hey Toto. Oh, Toto, I'm upgrading it to a 10 kilogram NF Strike spring. That's if I can get the original spring off. Which is proving a lot harder than a Cyclone Shock or a Fire Strike, which is kind of silly and ironic and just beyond me. I mean, literally, who would want to spend 10 minutes watching a spring swap? How about nobody? Look at that, I've just got like a little, tiny little bit of spring there. I like what? What's that, Jason? I like PP. Yeah. That's really mature. Why will these just not hack straight through? I have no idea. Back to trying to de-thread again. If it didn't fall into the plunger head repeatedly. Oh, listen. That's the sound of frustration. Oh, that's nicely roughed up my priming bar. Nice. Oh well. If everything goes downhill, I'll just buy another Bigshock. Boo. It's not like they're expensive or anything. You can pick up like for a few quid. I might even make one that's barreled down using CPVC, so it fires elites. But to be honest, if it says Mega on it, I'm going to fire Mega darts out of it. That's why I didn't barrel down my... Oh, anything. everything is my cyclone shock has got a 12 kilo spring in, and it outshoots a Kronos. And it's actually more accurate because it doesn't have the ball spraying randomly in with that stupid hop-up tab thing. You know what I really wish I had right now? A deploy. Right, most of spring off. Now finding the rest of it because it's intertwined itself somehow. Okay, let's attack it from this angle. If necessary, I'll just go through each coil and clip each coil. And I'll just thread the new spring on because threading on is so much easier. Also, threading on doesn't cause damage to your spring. Well, as much. Nope. So back to the pliers we go. Ho hum. Yeah, I'm supposed to be experienced at this. A pretty good long shot as well. Oh, remove the tip. Oh, because it's pointless and well, I don't want to risk the chance of damaging the structural integrity of the plunger head, and then by epoxying it on. It's just not appealing as an idea. Why can I get this spring to de-thread? This should just twist off. You know, I would say I feel bad for that guy at Lionheart Studios for the things that I said about him being a Jankmeister, and I think it was Lionheart Studios. If it's not, I apologise. But for putting the keyring thing in, but yeah, it's still janky. But if you're gonna mod it, at least mod it. Don't just do a half mod and then just stick a keyring through the back. It's painful to prime every time. It's pointless. It's just you're gonna end up with a red welt or a callus on your finger at the end of the day after priming your fire strike repeatedly. Okay, we're going to have another go with the hackers. Let's go there. Oh man, these are hefty, but for some reason they don't like cutting through Nerf springs. Bizarre. Okay, safer than hands. If I can get the thing out of the plunger head for a start. Let's find you. There you are. And let's let go again. Come on. I know you're in there. There you are. And you just slipped out again. Again. Always go wrong. This should be just as easy as winding something on and winding something off. Come on, I've got like 3.5 coils left. Don't be like this now. If you guys are new and you've never watched anything at all on my channel before and you're just like, hey, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, I'm let's say clinically depressed. And I don't go out very often. I'm working on getting my driving license, which is going to take a week or two. My car is actually outside, which is kind of weird, but still. Yep, that is my car outside, and it's registered to me. It's got to go pay my tax for the road tax thing. Yeah, that's better. Let's see if those aviation sniffs will hack through this, eh? Are you saying Canadian? Are you saying A? Oh no. Oh, what's all this about? No, that was Canadian. My worst Canadian impression, by the way. Let's try taking it from the other end and twisting it back on itself. Because hey, what's wrong with going at it from both ends, eh? What spring did I go with? Yeah, the 10K Bigshock NF Strike one. I did feel like doing a novelty intro for this video, but I didn't have time. Maybe in one of my later videos I'll do one of my bizarre novelty. What the? Oh, okay. I'll do a bizarre novelty intro. Parodying possibly one of you guys. Come on, cut! Cut! No, no, you're not going to cut. You're just going to bend them. Okay. The life of springs. And I still haven't Teflon taped it or greased it. Get out of the way. Thank you. This has to be the longest time it's ever taken me to unthread a spring. I mean, okay, the mega springs are going to be a bit beefier than the stock ones. Like the elite ones. Because I've got to push a lot more volume of air in order to move a hot dog. So yeah, they are going to be a bit stronger. The one of my cyclone shock was never this bad. I have no idea what is making it so difficult to dethread. It should just slip over and then click out, and then I should be able to spool it off. Nope, it's just tangling up. As you can see, it's just tangling in a mess on itself like that. Like a really, really screwed up paperclip. Poor paperclip. Yeah, I do have. I've actually got two. I've got two mega hot shocks. Because for some reason, I don't know if you guys in the US and that have them over there, but there's a sort of discount supermarket place called Lidl, and I just happened to wander in there one day, and they had hot shocks, and they were incredibly cheap. So I was like, "Shall I get one? Nah, let's get two." And I was like, "Shall I get three? Nah, I won't be greedy." So I did get two, and for a direct plunger, direct prime, they are, well, they're pretty good. I have no issue with them. I compared them with my elite blasters, and they actually perform better, which is kind of bizarre, but there you go. Such things happen in Nerf, and I can see why this spring is not unthreading, because it's actually knotted in the middle. If you can see the little cross bit. So I'm going to have to hack it off. There is no other option. If that spring is crossed, it means that it doesn't want to be uncrossed. So I try and only go for one coil at a time to minimize the amount of pressure needed. But it's slipping, of course. It's slipping. And now it's locked. Ah! Damn you! Damn you! No, that is not being cut. And that was a screwdriver flying across the table. Yay! Springs! Springs are great! I promise you the long shot installation will be much, much easier. Okay. Now we're getting into narrow territory. Where the spring is knotted. Yay! So far I have had no jams or misfires. I would have started with Mega Bigshock Guide, go! But it's already been done. And who would I be to plagiarize someone? Okay, if somebody can understand how a spring can get knotted within itself whilst being in a stationary position, you guys deserve some sort of prize in science.
Anyone? I do need bolt cutters.
All I have are heavy aviation snips for cutting, well, aviation grade aluminium. They will do steel, evidently, but not all the time, evidently. Oh, and Ben, only call me sir if I'm knighted by the Queen. It's a fun with pliers. Why is that underneath that? Let's try and... that's better. So, why have I got two ends? It's a very good question. Aha. Because there are two pieces of spring. Excellent. So that means grab one end, grab the other end, twist and maul. Maul more than anything. Oh, I was hoping to get to the interesting part like about 15-20 minutes ago. Sorry guys. It's still boring spring de-threading. Yeah, for those that want to know, it is that is the spring. Which will eventually be on here, unless I snap the plunger bar, arm, rod, thing. And then I go and cry for a little while in a cupboard. Pow! Another one off. That's all we got left now. 2 and a bit coils. We're on the home straight, guys. Hang on in there. We'll be there in a mo. Come on. There you go. Come on. Next one. I can't be this close and give up. Should I just quit the stream and call it a day, and then you guys can just feel as disillusioned and disappointed as I am?
Yeah, I would cut it out with the Dremel, but my Dremel is over there, and I can't be bothered to go and get it. And also, with the high temperature that'll be caused from the Dremel cutting through steel, it might melt the plunger rod. So you're better off sticking to manual tools for that. I'm a knight in the Nerf world order.
Okay. What's that? I don't want to be a member of any secret society intent on taking over the world. Actually, yeah, I do. Secretly, but still. There's any taking over to be done, it's by me. You know, I'm actually glad that you guys showed for this mod guide, because it kind of makes it less lonely to know that there are people out there that will back y'all up. That should weaken it enough. Oh, I just hope it's not as bad threading this on as it is taking this off, because I'm going to be crying. Let's use some smaller pliers then, as soon as we can't get enough traction. Because the coils are so close together at the ends, so square them off, you have to kind of pry them apart and then hook it under and then destroy your plunger rod. Or be really good and not. You're cool. When did I get so bad at de-threading springs? Oh yeah, that was about 3 months ago when I did my fire strikes. I will restate again and again, the perfect, I found, upgrade for a fire strike is a 5 kilo strong arm spring. They work surprisingly well. See, now it's all coming off. After all that toil and trouble, it's now inch by inch, well, not even that, not even an inch, millimetre by millimetre, I suppose, unravelling itself. Oh, come on, you don't want to. I've said too many times in my life and been turned down. Yeah, man. I am on 2 coils now. Well, 1.5 coils. And I haven't tested the air seal yet. So that's the next bit of joy, is to test the air seal and see if we can make it a little bit more efficient. Ah, thank you, Ben. I'm going to have one go at hacking this last coil. If I fail, I'm going to de-thread. If I don't drop it on the floor. Right, where were we? We were here. Okay, let's hack this thing to pieces. Now, skidding again. These things are expensive, you know. You know, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing properly, and not having a keyring hanging off the bottom of or the back of my blaster is something that, ha, joy. Now let the fun begin. Okay. So we're going on plunger head first. That should be, you can tell the thickness of the coils on this are much wider, but I'm sure once I get it over the first couple of ribs, I can slowly wind it on. Slowly, and not to mention very carefully wind it on, because I don't want to spear myself with a spring or destroy my plunger rod. I might need bigger pliers. Okay, let's go, man. Can I even get it over that? No. Come on, the first rib at least. I'm sure you guys know what I'm trying to do here. I just need to get enough pressure to open the spring up wide enough to fit over the second rib like that. There's a start. Using the edge of the bench is kind of cheating, but it helps. So, yep, use it, abuse it. Unless it's expensive. Then don't. Okay. One rib to get over. And we are over. And this is how much easier it is to thread a spring than it is to de-thread one. So it took me like 20, probably half an hour, I don't know, I didn't even look. Yeah, about half an hour to de-thread that monstrosity. This is the hard part near the end. You might have to compress the spring a little bit. Oh, and now it's not complying with me anymore. Well, if it's not going to be needing a re-grease before, it certainly will now. Because most of it's all over my hands. Okay, near the end, last coil, and it should click, and in we go. See, so much faster. Oh.
Yeah, that is not fun.
But now we have 10K spring on. Joyous. Put away the massive aviation snips. They can go over there next to my rapid strike. One of my rapid strikes, which is at the moment a Fuster clock. Wiring and stuff. So, right, we're going to use good old-fashioned 282 silicone, but test the fit before. You might have to push the trigger in just to let the assembly go in. Oh, that is loose. You can, you can see it wobble. It's that loose. It's not even compressing at the end. That is probably one of the worst plunger tubes I've seen ever. No, Matt, don't use a scalpel to take off an O-ring. That would be ridiculous. So, we're going to Teflon tape this thing up a little. Give that O-ring a bit more of an airtight seal.
Anyone says that? That was quite the pain, American foam. It was a pain in the
backside. I am trying my best to just not swear on a live stream. Do you reckon about 3 wraps. I'd say about 3. And then we'll test our fit. Okay. Let's put Mr. O-ring back on. Okay, all looking good. Oh yeah, pull the trigger. Not really. Still quite loose actually. I'm surprised. I'm expecting now to get even more of a power gain due to the I'll use this. Due to the, well, really awful seal that it's got. And the addition of a decent spring. I need something not sharp but pointy, and something that won't break an O-ring. Okay, I think we're going to need another 2 or 3 wraps just to make sure that this is a nice seal. I know that Nerf taper their barrel, well, taper their plunger tubes, thank you. Sorry, internet head word not working. I know they taper them so that you get most of the air efficiency at like the last sort of 10% of the actual plunger travel. So if you get it in a decent mid-range, you should get overall good. No, I don't know if you can hear it, but that's a decent seal. So, next bit, silicone grease. Hey Slater. Nice to see you. How is New Zealand this day? Remember, you can't underlube, but you can, well, yeah, you can underlube and you can't overlube, so you've got to make sure that you've got a decent amount on the inside of your plunger. Some people say that you have to remove all the old grease first, but where's the fun in that? And I'm sure if I was Coop, I would be making some kind of joke right now about sticking my finger in something and wiggling it around, but I'm not 12. So we should get a nice air seal from this now. That's a healthy air seal. I like. Mi gusto. So now, all it takes is getting grease off your hands by wiping it on your trousers that you know you've got to wash later. And screwing the whole thing down, and holding this 10k spring is not easy. Whoa, easy now. This is where you want like 5 or 6 hands. I'm trying to back them out just so I can get them to the bite point, so they'll start going through. And that means I haven't got to hold it in as much. Okay, we are flush. Right. Okay, install screws diagonally. It is the most structurally safe way of doing it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's safer to screw them in diagonally. And just keep the pressure on as you're screwing them in. Once you've got 2 of the screws in all the way and they're nice and stiff, God, another joke could come out of that. Probably will, probably has, don't care. Always remember, when I know if you're subscribed to Captain Xavier's channel, he always says back out your screws first. It's true. Always back your screws out first. So, what I didn't bring is some hot dogs. But I know exactly where some are. Right, so with the screws installed and we've just got this, that is a noticeably different prime. That feels a lot different. So yeah, it catches, it releases. That's what we need. Those are the 2 components that we need in any Springer: catch and release. So we'll pop the Bigshock back into its little clamshell. I may have scratched up the priming bar a little bit, but it won't do anything for the structure of it, to be honest. Okay, that one's in. I like the way they put a fake screw port there. If you look at it, there is actually no screw, it's just a hole. Amazing. Slider, I'm not entirely sure what you mean about holding it down, holding the shaft down while you screw it in. So I might have to run and grab some hot dogs to give the Bigshock a quick firing test to make sure I haven't completely janked up the internals, like oh god, so many I could name. So yeah, I haven't completely janked up the internals like Lionheart Studios would, which has the audacity to use the name Studios in its title. So, 2 seconds. Let me go grab some hot dogs. Okay, I am back with 3 conveniently found hot dogs that I found at the top of the stairs. Let's see if anyone's got anything to say. That's actually a really good idea, Slider. Yeah. And New Zealand is bleeding hot, isn't it? 35 degrees C. I'm fine, Mr. Slater. And yeah, 35 degrees C over there. It's been freezing here. It's been between 0 and 1. Last week we had some snow, which was quite bad, but that's what happens in England. Anywho, as we can tell, the disassembly, no. The dethreading of the spring was the hardest part. Rethreading, no problem. Catches, releases, there's noticeable improvement in the, well, I say improvement subjective, but there's a noticeable increase in the draw weight. So I'm going to give it a shot over at my couch and try not to hit one of my guitars. Okay, catches. It's got a bit of kick to it. Not actually that bad. Okay, yes, it has got some punch. Granted, it's like it's not a Rota Fury, it's not a Cyclone Shock, it's not my Magnus. It's probably one of the cheapest blasters you can get, but apart from a Jolt, actually these are about the same price as a Jolt. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I could rebarrel it with some CPVC if I remove the dart peg, and rebarrel it for elites. But do I really want to? Do I really care that much? No, I'll just find a pistol that fires elites and then just upgrade the spring in that, and then keep this as a mega blaster like it's designated. So yeah, it does have a decent pop to it, and it's got some decent range. It's got a pretty hefty prime. See if we can find a hot dog again. Wow, it's my lucky day. I found 2. Catches, This is around 40 feet. This is from my kitchen to my living room, straight through. That one didn't whistle for some reason. Why do you not whistle? You have two purposes in life: to shoot and to whistle. Apparently this dart just does not whistle. Oh well. It still gets pretty decent ranges. So, yeah. I apologise for the overly long hacking off of bits of spring that I'll put into this little bag as a memento of my first ever live stream. And I would like to thank you guys for turning up and showing your support. It's great to know that there are people out there that defective dart. It's nice to know that there are people out there that they'll back you up. They're cool. And because you're all cool, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a glimpse. There is my custom switch plate, and it does have a return, and I have tested it with the gearbox, and that little roller is perfect for when the arm returns. I'm using 16 gauge straight through into one of my flywheel cages. It's a 41.5mm cage, and because I was lazy I stuck on a Kelly Industries motorboard, and almost matches the Nerf orange, which is quite cool. Not intentional, it was just that I was printing a load of flywheel cages in different colours, and I just thought, yeah. So this one ended up being the one in my Rapid Strike. And yep, it has a pair of Fang revamps and good old Bulldog flywheels, which I say still are the best flywheels in the world. But yeah, it's a fully custom 3D printed switch plate trigger mech. So your rev trigger is like a hair trigger, as is your actual firing trigger when it's lined up with the rest of the body. That's better. So really it is just a tiny click. All it needs is just rev, that works. And then when I finally seat it properly and screw it down, that will actuate the pusher. But that revs your motors. That is to the flywheels, that's to the battery, the blues are feeds. I've yet to install the gearbox. I've actually yet to modify the gearbox. As I throw it across the desk table thing. But yeah, I'm going to stick Honey Badger in there. And it should get around 14 darts per second. No, that's crazy. 10. Yeah, about 10 to 12, I'd say. So take care, Slater.
So I suppose that's the end of my first ever live stream, and it was on a Big Shock, but it worked and nobody was harmed. Apart from a spring, which is now going to go in the bin because it's all just bits. And yeah, notable performance increase. I think if I break it in, I have to break it in for a bit. The hour's still intact, but after breaking it in for a while, I think it'll start to become a bit more consistent and fire a little better. So until my next live stream, which will be whenever I know and whenever I can find the time, then I say thanks for joining me on this epic journey of the Mega Bigshock, the smallest mega pistol there is, but still. Anywho, thank you for joining me. I've had a fantastic time doing that, despite all the trials and tribulations. And hopefully I will see you again very shortly. I hope you have a fantastic day, evening, morning, next day, whatever. And yeah, thank you everyone. Just hit that like, hit subscribe, and there's somewhere to do PayPal donations if you want to help me get a decent camera rather than running off my phone and a 3-year-old tablet. So yeah. Oh yeah, don't use scalpels and O-rings unless you know what you're doing, because you will cut through them and you will cry unless you can find a replacement. But thank you for joining me on my little adventure. I hope to see you soon. I've been Matt on Nerf. I always will be. And yeah, I think that's about it. Like, subscribe, do whatever. Leave comments. Talk about stuff. Just suggestions, anything. I'm willing to literally do anything. No, not anything, but within, I'm not going to even say within a price range, because that makes me sound even dirtier. I'm willing to do live streams and stuff if people want to come. So yeah, please feel free. Oh, and never forget, always wear a bulldog clip on your sleeve or on your pocket, because you always need bulldog clips. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take it easy, guys. I've been Matt, always will be, and that's the end of my first ever live stream.